Greetings, everyone. This is Rob Wilson. I'd like to welcome you to Strictly Art Live, number 58. We're streaming live here from Twitch, Kick, YouTube, IG, and Rumble. Well, I feel like it's been a while since I've done this. I don't know why. Well, welcome. It is Monday, February the 3rd. This is our first live stream in the month of February. We're hitting the ground running. A lot of crazy things going on, including something else that has been brought to my attention. While I did kind of forewarn it prior to this live stream. I had mentioned, with new administration, new policies, new changes in shipping rates, things of that nature. Well, it seems like that's all about to become a reality and really fast. So stay tuned as we cover a little bit of that. We got more Superman talk because it just seems to keep turning more and more into a clown show. Clown world galore. We're going to cover that. We also got Solo Leveling, Season 2, Episode 5, Dragon Ball Daima, Episode 16. I believe it's 16, yeah. Picking button, taking names, and I'll be drawing. I am recovering from a very tough weekend. Not just for working, but for being under the weather. So bear with me. Bear with me, please. That is all I can ask, and I will give to you what I have today via my best at the percentage that I'm at. So, in case you're new to this, I am a comic book artist. I'm working on my own comic book as we speak right now. This is one of the panels called VKP. It will be coming to you soon, hopefully with those rates not too high. So you can purchase and enjoy this among all the other new comics you may give a chance to. I have made a previous comic already, trial run of this. It was more anime style. However, name a few artists in one hand that has taken the time out, maybe years break, to improve their craft, such as myself. I'm not bragging, but hey, I put in the time. I like the results that I've gotten, and hopefully all of you do as well. I am a big supporter of American style comic book art. I just got sidetracked a little bit in my youth watching anime, but nonetheless, my origin story is I have come home. Now, starting off, we're going to go ahead and deal with Solo Leveling while that's still fresh in my mind. Stay tuned. You can find all of my artwork, stuff for the latest updates, the latest live streams. You can even donate, support my work, however way you will or choose to or can. Also, you can buy my artwork. It's available at the crawler below, linktree/RWARTS. That's Rob Wilson Arts. That's what RWARTS stands for. So, we're going to go ahead and get the ball rolling. Yeah, stay tuned. And we'll kick the show off with Solo Leveling.
We used to be 4 ordinary teenagers, until one day, we met some new friends from out of town. They were called Dinosaurs. My friends and I became the secret scouts, allies to these dinosaurs from outer space, and joined in their battles against Genghis Rex and the evil Tyrannos.
The dinosaurs are leaving, Bossasaur!
Well, follow them!
And there we go. I hope all of you enjoyed that little quick interlude. One of my favorite cartoons I grew up watching called Dinosaurs. You gotta love that photo pic because after the photo's taken, they're at each other's throats again. And the rivalry, you could just feel it. They're just like ready to tear each other apart. It's like the herbivores versus the carnivores, which is rather interesting. I think most of them are carnivores. Some may not. But yeah, it was a pretty interesting concept. Dinosaurs that were aliens, you know. I forgot how the concept went, where basically either they evolved by the meteorite that struck the Earth and took them out, or they evolved and left before the meteorite hit Earth. So, not sure, but yeah, that's a classic show. All right, so Solo Leveling. Our protagonist, I always say either Jin Sama or Jing Woo, because I always get that wrong. But Jin Sama, he has moved up in the ranks. As far as work, he volunteered as a salvage expert, almost like a Navy diver. He's not a fighting man, he's a salvage expert, from Men of Honor. He has come a long way, and he's amongst some high ranks. So I think it's a little more difficult now that he has, tipped the scales of the rank measurement system. He's starting to take it to a new level, to the where he's able to help people and get to higher rank dungeons thanks to the party. The tough part is trying to ditch the party so he can try to get the biggest, bestest payoff, the biggest treasure without being noticed. And the tough part, as this episode started off, he did get noticed. And unfortunately, because of that, he found ways to negotiate with the chick that found him. She's high rank, although she has like some allergies or something. It was pretty interesting. So let's see here. Hey, what's going on, Marie 642? Welcome. Just covering Solo Leveling for now. So yeah, he manages to talk and walk with her, and now she gets a whiff, kind of like a sniff of his aroma, and she wants to get to know who he is. Maybe it's a familiar essence to a degree. So with that, oh man, I just realized this angle is terrible for this. I should have thought about that before I did it. So yeah, she gets a whiff of him. He introduces himself, and I think she starts doing further inquiry on who is this Jin Sama, and I guess she starts thinking about him in bed. Maybe some new strokes for these folks, if you catch my drift. So with that, they move on to the what is it? It's the actual dungeon where they're salvaging more stuff, because it's a multi-day salvage process. They got to keep digging deeper and deeper into dungeons, and this dungeon, all beknownst to them, seems pretty normal. The rest of the team ends up fighting and clearing the pathway, and the salvage guys, it's a whole team of them, it's not just Jin Sama. The salvage guys, they actually look forward to seeing him at work because they know how dependable and strong of a worker he is, the whole nine. And it gave him flashbacks of the whole team he was part of. It was interesting, kind of surreal, realizing how far he's come. And this kind of like being a game-based anime to a degree, even though the game mechanics are happening in real life. That's pretty traditional, where the main protagonist kind of looks back at how far he or she has come, where they've come from. So, this dungeon, as I said, the team, they're chopping away at enemies, and then they start running into the heavy hitters. I'm talking about ogres, orcs. I'm talking about not just green orcs. And I'm telling you, with this anime, for some reason, they have a tendency to have some of the best designs for characters. And it's not always going to be some low level. Like, they off the break. Red orcs. 3 times the size of the team. Carrying heavy weaponry. Just hulking in mass. Absolutely, threatening and ominous. And yeah, they have some struggles, to the point where Jinsama actually has to utilize some stealth and start shanking ankles, which is pretty funny because where he learned that stealth technique was from the guy that shanked his ankle, but he was able to full recover. Very masterful technique. So that turned the tide of the battle more in the team's favor, and they got to a point where the portal was, I guess, red or something, and the mages or the magic users, they try their best to try to open it up, and just to no avail. Wasn't happening. And then they started to take on damage. So we got a fresh new set, or maybe resurrected orcs that came up, and they had a leader. One of them that actually went into almost like a type of berserk mode, or maybe possessed by the system. And they had a conversation with the team leader that seemed to have led to a type of negotiation. And that's pretty much where we got to on that. I thought it was interesting. We'll see. His secret wasn't discovered. He was able to move around stealth-wise without people noticing. And so far, so good. It seems like something he can keep going at. But I guess maybe they have to reach a certain requirement in order to go to that portal. And maybe it wasn't an exit portal. Bear with me, guys, because unfortunately I didn't have any subtitles when I was able to watch the episode. But, like I said, I made it work. That's the thing. May not be the best, may not be the brightest, but we're going to make it work. That is my motto for 2025. And yeah, I'd say this is a pretty solid episode. It was a good combination of recollection, conversation, negotiation. What else? And action, of course. You got to have all those elements. So once again, Solo Leveling does not disappoint. I thought I saw maybe an advertisement or a notification somewhere that Kaiju number 8 may be back or coming back soon. I mean, after all, it is, the new year. It's a whole new year, new season, or second half of the season. And I'm running and gunning for that My Hero Academia. I think it's like season 15. I want to get the second half of that season to see how it turns out. So yeah, like I said, Solo Leveling, solid as usual. I got no complaints. On a side note, I will say I think I'm going to go back and watch, this is on a Marvel note, I'm going to go back and watch season 1, all the episodes of Daredevil. So that way I can be ready and caught up when it comes out in March, I believe. Because it's already February. It'll be here before you know it. Don't underestimate the timeline of 2025. It is ruthless, I promise you. Punxsutawney Phil's already seen his shadows, so we got more winter coming our way. Get ready. And it was just starting to warm up too. So it is what it is. That's just the way of the biz. All right, so we're going to take another quick interlude, and then we're going to talk about Dragon Ball Daima, and then after that, Superman. Be right back. And grab your favorite drink, kick back, relax, or go back to work. I'll be here for you. You can always watch the replay.
distant time and faraway place, the planet of New Texas floats deep in space. Sky of 3 suns, land of precious ore. The carrion rush brought outlaws by the score. And one day, a lawman appeared, with powers of hawk, wolf, puma, and bear. Protector of peace, mystic man from afar, champion of justice, martial brave star. Brave star.
Eyes of the hawk, ears of the wolf, brave star.
Brave star.
Strength of the bear, speed of the puma, brave star.
Brave star.
Man, that Flamin' Hot Cheetos kick was no joke. I'm telling you. Flamin' Hot Cheetos kick courtesy of G from Street Fighter V. Sorry, I had to go there. So yeah, that was another classic called Brave Star. Another one I grew up with. Absolute favorite of mine. I even had the toy when I was a kid. It's ironic too with the horse that could transform into like a humanoid 2-legged position. He was actually reminded me of like a powered up Mr. Ed. You know, Mr. Ed was another classic comedy from Nick at Night. I'm bringing back all the classics here. So, moving on, we got Dragon Ball Daima. The battle continues to get to the palace of the current Demon King, who has Dende, who's a baby infant, and also the other Dragon Ball. unbeknownst to them yet, of course. So they continue to battle on, and they come across, after the big battle from the last episode, episode 15, they come across the imitation Ginyu Force. They were quick work. Vegeta volunteered to take him on all by himself, and he was giving them a run for their money until one of them was able to summon huge magic fireballs, and that kind of had Vegeta worried until one of them, as he charged up the even bigger fireball, another team member had a cannon or a Gatling gun who he smacked the barrel into his hand, burned his hand, and destroyed the fireball, in which there were no casualties. So they got rounded up. Quick work. That's how they did it. Quick work. They got rounded up as the Z fighters, baby Z fighters, made their way through the palace, and one of, I don't know, I guess Sakai's half sister or whatnot. I guess she doesn't wear her hair in a bun anymore, unless it's a different one. But excuse me, she presented the eye to the demon's eye to the new Demon King Emperor / ruler, and long story short, he became the new Demon King with enhanced power, size, strength, all that. He's like a legitimate threat now. He's no longer like, Hornswoggle running around throwing fits everywhere. So, in addition to that, who was it? Goku. Yeah, Goku. He goes to the sword guardian of the Dragon Ball, which obviously from previous episodes that we covered, that Dragon Ball is already gone. So he had to learn that the hard way and find out that it was already taken as the battle rages on. I can't really think of any other significant parts besides that. I mean, the evil Kai tried to use Dende as a hostage. The infant Kai cried like a baby because it was an infant. What else to that episode was there that I can remember aside from the fake Captain Ginyu Force? Not much. Yeah, so I guess from that, they're staking all the big stuff on the next episode, which is going to be the big fight, where it's going to be super uber powered up Demon King with the Demon Eye, ready to fight the Z fighters. And me personally, from all the flaws I've seen the baby Z fighters have, I don't think they stand a chance right now. They may be in over the head, but that's what makes it exciting. Insurmountable odds meant to be overcome with the help of hope and the power of family. I mean, friends. Goku's got a lot of friends. We'll see if Han Solo, he betrays them, as I guess he's still working for the evil Kai's sister. That hasn't been really updated. He's pretty much just helping the Z fighters on the surface, but we know otherwise. Let's see here. Trying to think, am I adding too much hatching to this thing? Is this enough? Or is it not enough? Scale back a little bit on this here. Alright, so yeah. That's it for Dragon Ball Daima. Very simple episode, pretty much to the point. Everything's been pretty much just building up to this, and that's what we got. So let's see you next. Excuse me. This episode is brought to you by the Madness Entertainment Group. Be sure to check out all their stuff at themag.tv, where they have plenty of amazing comic book artists, writers, aspired comic book artists, and seasoned veterans. Plenty of entertainment and episodes for you to see, your viewing pleasure, and maybe inspire you to become a comic book artist as well. The power is yours at your fingertips. All one needs is the knowledge and application. If you're not sure, I'm living proof of that. So, moving on, we're going into Superman. And I guess we'll juggle Superman and the tariffs. And that should pretty much be, mainly this episode. Because, Superman just can't seem to... we'll get to it. Enjoy this next segment's interlude and see if you recognize this blast from the past.
Cops, Central Organization of Police Specialists. Fighting crime in a future time. Protecting Empire City from Big Boss and his gang of crooks. It's crime fighting time.
Now, if that's not classic, I don't know what is. And of course, the chief of police name was, I guess he was the captain, named Bulletproof. It was pretty awesome. I remember I had the toy of Bulletproof. So, as a kid, I clearly did not need every character to look like me. I had one. Also had another one. I think he was like the hyena or something like that. He was only in a few episodes, but his character design was amazing. I thought, at least. So, another great cartoon, one that I love and still cherish. Proof that there are still great classics out there, not to be neglected. So, here we are, once again. Hi, Superman. Hi, Warner Brothers. Here's looking at you guys. In fact, let's go ahead and get to the article. This is the Hollywood Reporter. There are many articles out here about this. This one in particular is mine that I'm sharing. So we got it. Warner Brothers Superman rollout threatened by lawsuit over international rights. And let's just go ahead and consider that for a moment, okay? International rights in the midst of what's about to be a tariff war. We know that the U.S. has placed tariffs on China, Mexico, and Canada. Canada is a big neighbor. Don't know if it's a good neighbor like State Farm, but clearly State Farm is not good to everyone. Just ask California. But getting back to this, All of this is going on. I believe Superman has a July or June release. It's a shame. So it's going to be a lot of turmoil. We'll see if they can get this over with. But it reads, Warner Brothers Discovery has been sued over the rights to Superman in a lawsuit seeking to block the release of the studio's tentpole film in several countries ahead of its July debut. The estate of Joseph Shuster, the co-creator of Superman, alleges that WBD lost its international rights to the character and story years ago, but continued to exploit them without his permission or compensation. In a complaint filed in New York federal court on Friday, it seeks to share a profit from all the works attributed to the alleged copyright infringement, including Zack Snyder's Justice League, Black Adam, and Shazam. Ouch! That's a lot of back pay. Goodness gracious. In key countries such as Canada, the UK, and Australia. We know that Australia costs a lot of money to ship stuff there. We know that Canada is one of the neighbors that's being tariffed. In fact, Canada is countersuing the U.S. Well, not countersuing, but counter-tariffing the U.S. with tariffs of its own. So that tariff war is already in the works. So this is about to be a huge mess. You know, I gotta say, before I continue this article, you just kind of look at that face. I don't want to zoom in too far, but you look at that face right there. That is not the face of hope. It barely is that symbol. I'm sorry. You know, we live in a clown world where the worst mistakes are being made right now. It's a clown world. Just see. You know, and I'm much of a guy where like, hey, push to achieve your dreams, but these dreams ain't dreaming. You know, they're just not working. So, continuing on, in a statement, WBD said, "We fundamentally disagree with the merits of the lawsuit and will vigorously defend our rights." Okay? The legal action marks a potential hitch in WBD's rollout of Superman, which arrives July 11th as the first solo movie. That's wrong. First solo movie for the character in more than a decade since Man of Steel. It's not a solo film. It's just not. If that's how WB feels about it, they're wrong. Just look at the trailer. It's intended to serve as the cornerstone property of DC Studios. Co-chiefs James Gunn and Peter Safran, who have planned a slate of projects around the movie, and were hired by WBD chief executive David Zaslav with a mandate to reinvent the DC universe. DC's ownership of Superman dates back to the 1938, where writer Jerome Siegel and Shuster, a graphic artist, sold their rights to the character and story for $130. The hero's first appearance under DC's banner was in Action Comics #1, which detailed his backstory, secret identity as newspaper reporter Clark Kent. And powers of super strength and speed, his first time fly came in 1943 in Action Comics number 65. Since then, it's frequently been targeted of litigation, starting in 1947 when the duo sued to invalidate DC's ownership of the rights to Superman. The case settled with a $94,000 payout to Shuster and Siegel to resolve the case. Under copyright law, Shuster would typically be able to reclaim his domestic rights to Superman under a provision in intellectual property law that allows authors to claw back ownership of their works after a certain period of time. But his sister and brother reached a deal with DC in 1992 that terminated that right in exchange for $25,000 per year. A federal appeals court later upheld that determination. This time, Shuster Estate looks to take advantage of UK copyright law, which automatically terminates copyright assignments 25 years after an author's death. By its thinking, it reclaimed the rights to Superman in 2017 since the graphic artist died in 1992. Oof. Also at play, the possibility that Shuster's sister didn't have the authority to bind the estate to the agreement that purportedly surrendered its right to terminate DC's ownership of Superman. In that case, the court stated that the issue is a complex one and punted on deciding it. The lawsuit claims infringement of copyright law in the UK, Australia, Canada, and Ireland. It seeks a court order barring further exploitation of the international rights to Superman, allegedly owned by the Shuster Estate, which is represented by powerhouse copyright termination lawyer Mark Toberoff. Now, before I comment on this state of affairs, we're going to take a quick break. Be right back. All right, we're back because I got some words for that. What's going on, Levi Skeen? He says the Superman saga has become a better story outside the comics and movies. It's more interesting in the future lawsuit than a movie. Absolutely. Also, that solo movie is basically Superman and the Justice Society of America. Right. Like the fact that they said that, like, obviously this article, they're not big lore enthusiasts. They just kind of like, hey, the movie's called Superman. That's what it's about. That's it. So unfortunately, That's all we know. We're going by this is Superman's first time back since Henry Cavill, which I'm surprised they didn't mention him at all. I'm sure WB wanted to keep the spotlight on Corn Sweat, which clearly the spotlight is definitely on him, but probably not in a good way. On him, but probably more on James Gunn than Corn Sweat. And I know James Gunn is sweating right now. He is sweating like a Jordan Peele meme. Just sweat dripping down his face while he's got a straight look. Creature Commandos was a bust. It was an absolute joke. I didn't even know the original material, and I knew from what they put in it, it was absolutely terrible. You had your classic agendas, your agenda box checking, and it was terrible. A waste of Frank Grillo, a waste of David Arbor as Frankenstein. And yeah, barely anybody else had any substance. It was a waste of G.I. Robot. So, like, we know that James Gunn has a history of taking a Superman-like character, i.e., Black Adam, not Black Adam, but Adam Warlock, and making him retarded. We know. So if that's what he was going to do for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which was his baby, he did 2 movies of that. And then he did that with the third one with Adam Warlock. Man, you know, it's probably a good thing if this movie doesn't come out. It's probably a good thing if this movie gets delayed, because there are too many bad signs that lead to a average or to below average movie with all the drama that it's undertaken. I mean, maybe the drama could drum up some controversy, but it's not looking good, man. It's really not. This is not how you get good press for a movie called Superman. Like, it just doesn't work. Who is this guy? Yeah, I don't know who that was, but we're putting codes in the chat. Folks got to go. We're not playing that game anymore. I've dealt with enough scam artists. It's like, look, the scam artists need to start paying me to deal with their bull crap. How about that? Deal with that, Jack. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this is an absolute mess. Absolute mess. And again, it's not going to help with the increase of price, because Canada's price is about to go up. Australia, their price might go up too, because they're already pretty expensive and hard to get to them. So as far as distribution, like, I don't even know how that works, because even going back to Black Adam, what they mentioned? They mentioned it's not just for this movie. They want payback for Superman and Black Adam, which that might be coming out of The Rock's pocket. Oof. And if that's coming out of The Rock's pocket, is that coming out of TKO's pocket? Oof. I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's not looking too good. What else? They said Zack Snyder's Justice League, right? So how is it Zack Snyder didn't get permission to have Superman in the Justice League, but he had permission to have him in Man of Steel? I don't understand that. Maybe the 4-hour edition Justice League. That's the one that Shuster's trying to get Shuster's estate's trying to get their cut for. Maybe. But good Lord, this is absolutely amazing. You know, it just kind of reminds me of, I had a clip with Dean Kane's Superman where he landed. He was like, "Is everyone okay? I heard there was trouble." Next thing you know, the FAA starts asking him questions. Then the IRS starts asking him questions. Now everybody's got a ticket and a fine for the guy. This is literally what this feels like. This is wild beyond belief. And yeah, we're here. You know, like I said, it was already kind of a bad omen based on the performance that we were presented. Um, I guess they were like, hey, let's see what sticks. Let's get out as quick as possible, make our money and run. But, you know, the bill comes due, you know, in the words of Baron Mordo, the character that was very underused when it came to Doctor Strange. So, yeah, that's oof. Why does it have to be so difficult to make a Superman movie? Consult with the right people. But you imagine you got to back pay internationally for those movies. So this Superman movie coming up by UK court, and those, I guess, in those particular countries, you got to back pay for not just one movie, 3 movies. Just that one clip of Henry Cavill at the end of Black Adam. You got to pay for that, back pay. And again, is that retro at the rate of then, or will it be the current rate as it is going up? Because we know the bill is increasing with interest as we are in a tariff war. Unfortunately, I gotta start looking at the rates of some of my stuff because, you know, even during COVID, shipping rates were increasing just because of that. This time, it's a whole nother reason. So we'll see. We'll follow up with this as the story continues. I'm not excited for this movie. And as Levi Skeen clearly explained earlier, this, you know, court battle of what the hell's going on, robbing the artist, robbing the creators, robbing the family of the creators, you know, again, across what's about to be 3 movies now. It's wild, man. See, this is the stuff right here of why I would never sell my IP to any big company. I would not want to get compensated for it. No. Let me earn every little penny I can from it, so that way each penny or nickel or quarter or silver dollar is mine, you know? And I can sit back and say, I got one more silver dollar, and I'm not gonna let them catch me, no. Not gonna let them catch the Midnight Rider. You know, let me be content with that. Because all of this, you know, top-notch marketing, high-priced stuff, glitz and glamour, it's not worth it. It's an illusion. Just like Hollywood itself. Absolutely amazing, ladies and gents. You know, this article is even worse than I thought. I am flabbergasted that this is the state of Superman. Superman, the character that we grew up loving, is getting taxed to death by taxes. Copyright laws. This is absolutely amazing. The last son of Krypton is about to get hit like never before. Not by kryptonite, not by yellow sun. He's about to get hit by tariffs. I'm sorry. How are we here right now? I'm sorry. It doesn't make sense. But this is the nature and the state of things, and what happens when you let things go too far gone. You know, it's not even mass hysteria. It's just straight up clown world, clown show. And then I saw some article where they said Warner Brothers commented, and they said that Corn Sweat in the Superman clip where he was flying, it wasn't CG. Yeah, you know what? Let's go to this. Let's throw some salt in this wound. Because this is crazy. This is crazy. Nobody makes a Superman movie, makes fun of him around as long as I'm around. Look at this. James Gunn, the man himself, says new shot of Superman's face is zero CG. Fans say we can tell. Oh my gosh, that's brutal. It's ridiculous. Let me hide that before that starts happening. You know, it's sad that this movie is so busted that I'm looking more forward to Megan 2.0, which I saw the teaser trailer. The first movie, this is one of the movies that got that where YouTube they struck my channel, and I did a pretty interesting breakdown back when I was doing live streams specifically to review movies, but I don't do that anymore because you know YouTube's always looking for a reason to tax me, and that's fine. That's what Rumble's for. You know, I am thankful for Rumble, the alternative source. So, as we pretty much wrap up this show here, oh shoot, it switched on me. I don't know how to use my own equipment. As we prepare to go ahead and wrap up this show, let's keep three things in mind. Japanese anime is still winning. Sorry but not sorry. Solo Leveling, Season 2, killing it. Dragon Ball Daima, even though I'm not that big of a Dragon Ball fan. My love for Dragon Ball pretty much died with the Cell games. That was my favorite part of Dragon Ball. I like Super, you know, Tournament of Power. Who didn't, right? It was lots of mindless violence. So, yeah, Japan's still winning. Superman's being taxed to death. Superman's in court, ironically. You know, you remember Justice League, yeah. He showed up at the Capitol for a hearing. Seems like that scene is still a continuum. Only this time it's going to world court. Absolute madness. Warner Brothers can't get it right. Have they gotten it right since Richard Donner? Man, he was a blessing to them. You know, Richard Donner went from Superman to Lethal Weapon. He just had gifts that kept on giving. You know? I think he did one of the Wolverine movies that had like almost every line in that movie. The Wolverine, even though that movie pretty much sucked, that movie had almost every line in that movie was fire. Liev Schreiber as Sabretooth was fire. Top-notch stuff. It's like the type of movie you don't forget. Even if you may not be a big Wolverine fan, everything was placed so well in that movie. It's your daughter. You know. And it just goes to show that it's just not the same anymore as far as the talent, skill level, all that great stuff. It is nowhere near what it used to be. It's past its former glory. And unfortunately, well, actually, fortunately, this is why fans make the best stuff. As I've said many times in the past, I will continue to advocate for. I myself am a fan, and, you know, hey, I was telling somebody today about a great idea for a movie where I was saying, hey, if Will Smith wanted to get a stranglehold on this whole entanglement thing, he could have set up and did a movie with his wife, you know, Jada Pinkett, and they could have been like space something. He could have been a bounty hunter, and that was his wife, and they settled down, but she mysteriously left, and come to find out that she slept with an alien or something, and you know, they kind of skirmish between the whole movie while an alien empire or pirates or something are coming after him, and they're fighting to survive. Kind of like a Mr. and Smith type of Mr. and Mrs. Smith type of ordeal. You know, only you see both of them on the screen together, and they would probably get a chance to get a lot of that frustration out on the big screen as opposed to just hiding it. And the person I told about that, he thought it was pretty funny, you know. I mean, why not? Because we never seen Will and Jada in a movie together. So, hey, I got great ideas. I don't have enough time or resources to use them all. So the ones that I know I can implement, I'm keeping them close to the chest. The rest of them are for your audio and visual pleasure. As I continue to bring my creative thoughts and brainstorming and ideas to you, the people. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I'm Rob Wilson, ladies and gents, and this is Strictly Art Live number 58 that you have enjoyed. Take care. Catch you next time.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.